15 years ago today, I became paralyzed from the neck down out of nowhere and was sent home from the ER with no treatment except for Motrin, and my life changed forever. I was only 8 years old and I was at my weekly ballet class and all of a sudden got an excruciating head and neck ache. The pain was so bad to the point that I was crying, so my mom was just going to take me home to rest. But on our way out of the dance studio, I reached down to adjust my tights and all of a sudden my arms and hands just stopped working. So obviously, we didn't go home. We were far away from the nearest hospital, so we went to an urgent care. By the time we got there, I couldn't walk, but I could still move my legs. So my mom had to carry me inside, and they flew me by helicopter to the nearest hospital, where I stayed in the emergency room for 6 hours and only received Motrin for my head and neck ache because the doctor thought that I was faking it. He lifted one of my arms above my head and let it go, and since it didn't hit my face, he said I had control over it and thus was faking it. He also had a child life specialist come in and put a popsicle in my hand, and he kept saying, if you just move your arm, that's your ticket out of here. So they were trying to use the popsicle to coax me to move my arm. But I couldn't feel that the popsicle was cold, and my mom kept saying that to the doctor. She also was throwing out possible diagnoses at him, begging him to run tests and asking for a new doctor, but nothing changed. After 6 hours, I was sent home and we were told to return in the morning if I wasn't better. Even though I couldn't move my arms, I couldn't sit up by myself, I couldn't walk, and I couldn't feel anything. We even had to request a wheelchair to leave. They didn't just bring one to us. A lot of people might wonder why we left, but when you're discharged from a hospital, you have to leave. They make you leave. You cannot stay. It was the middle of the night by this point, so we figured we would try again in the morning with my pediatrician who we really trusted. When I woke up the next morning, I then also couldn't move my legs, so I was completely paralyzed from the neck down. I ended up back at the same hospital, but I saw a different doctor that day who did run tests and I did receive a diagnosis. My MRI showed spinal cord damage from C2 to T1, so I had a spinal cord injury. Did receive a diagnosis, but in 2018, I was re-diagnosed with acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM, which is a neuroimmunological condition caused by a virus attacking the spinal cord. I was in the hospital for 2 months where I regained the ability to walk and partial use of my arms and hands. 15 years later, as a 23-year-old, I can't move my left hand at all, my right hand is really weak, I can't lift my arms up higher than this, and I have a lot of medical complications from AFM. I'm able to tell the story of what happened to me 15 years ago so seamlessly because I have told it so many times that it's almost like a script in my head. It wasn't until I got older that I realized truly how traumatizing that day was. And I'm still working through those feelings today as a 23-year-old. Out of respect for my privacy and my trauma, I do not share details about the hospital or the doctor. But I think it's really important that I share my story because medical gaslighting happens to so many people and I don't understand it. I don't know why doctors do this and it needs to stop.